And we're back again. All right, so here you can see that the liner for the wheel well on the I guess that's the left wing. Now I just need to, this is the template I cut, shape this by fitting it in, cutting it, fitting it, cutting it, and then use it to make the birch ply deck and liner. Typical with these balsa kits, when you're putting them together, you know, things aren't always symmetrical, the same. For instance, this opening is just a little bit narrower for whatever reason. And, you know, to the eye, naked eye, you can't really tell, but when it comes down to a template or something like that, one side may not fit to the other. And it's, oops, nothing to, you know, lose your cool over. You just make it work. Cut to fit. All right, we need to cut, oops, about the same amount off the other side should do it. A little bit under a 1/16, something like that. Whatever that is, maybe a millimeter, I don't know. We're not on the metric system here, this is America. Anyway, still just a little bit long on this side. Not horrible, but just a little bit long. We need a good fit so that the part fits flat, doesn't have any, because the birch ply won't be able to curl here. It won't be able to do what the cardstock does. The birch ply has to be the right size, whereas the cardstock, you can get away with something a little different. So we just need to take a little more off the top, as they say. Another millimeter on this side. And the reason I'm keeping it even is so that the cutout for the wing rib here will still fit. In other words, will still be centered on that with these little cutouts. Well, let me just check it each time before I start. You don't want to go too far. I see it a few times. Oh, I think I got that in backwards. Let's pull it out, flip it over. There we go. The long slot goes toward the leading edge, and I forgot that just now. So I'm going to pop that in again and just see how we're doing. Yeah, we're still. Actually, that's not bad. That's a little flatter. And if I cut away this side, no. This side, yes. I think I'll take almost as much again, just to see if we can't get that a little flatter. All right, come on out of there. It'll be a little bit rough with the template because it's just a template. All right, let's take just exactly that much again. Right about there. My blade's getting dull, so this will be the last cut with this blade. And let's see how we're doing now. Well, that's good. All right, so this is the template for the left wing, I think. Right wing. Okay, where's the stuff? So we got the grain going side to side there. And the reason for that is so that we can flex the part. The grain running this way means we can flex the part this way. If the grain's running, in other words, with the grain running that way, it would be harder to bend in this direction. But what we want is we want the part to be able to bend this way so that we can get it in here. So the grain's going to go side to side. it's also better probably aesthetically once we get everything painted and dressed up and so forth. You'll see what I mean. So we want the grain to go laterally, so we're going to put the part on this way instead of this way. So we don't want to waste any material, or as little as possible. I think what I'll do is let's come over here, take it off of this end. Where's my pencil? There it is. The desk is a mess. I know it's a shocker. It's always so typically I keep things so clean and organized. Typically. Alright, so we're just going to line up the existing edge and trace around the part. Da, 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 da. Okay, and down the back. One of the fun things about this birch ply, let's not forget the notch, there we go, is especially in this thin 1/32 material, you can cut it with scissors, just like paper. Well, not quite like paper, but you'll see that it can be cut with the scissors, is what I'm saying. At least to a point. Now, probably gonna have to, so I can't get the scissors in there. Let's see. There we go. Let's put our stock away before it gets cracked. And down here, back to the scissors again. Bam. Right, so where's my sanding block? It's right in front of me. We'll clean up the edges. Looks a little, that's fine. The reason I'm rounding the corners just a little bit is so that the part will slide in there without getting hung up on something. A little easier, because they won't really be visible. Now we have that one. Yeah, we want to go this way. Okay. And we actually want to go this way. Okay. Didn't I say I was going to change this blade? I think I did. No, I think I didn't do it. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let's just clean it up in there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Okay, the long slot at the front. Just see if it'll fit. There she goes. And then press, flip this up a little bit, bend it. As I said, the reason we used the grain going in this direction was so we could flex it and get it in there. Oops, and we're off a little bit on our footage apparently somehow. Yeah, there we go. That doesn't look quite as good as the other one, so I'm gonna have to pull that out and do a little shaping on it. A little tight here. Hopefully I can get that out without making a mess of it. That didn't sound good. Yeah. Well, like I said, when I turn the cameras on, everything gets south. Come on out of there. Yeah. We got a fractured situation there, but that's okay. We're going to ladle it with some sand and seal, which should help hide any sort of problems, I think, maybe. Just this little situation, but it'll be all right. As long as I don't crack it any more than that. I should probably do that. And that. No. Let's tuck it in at the back first and see. That fits nicely. I just need to flex it this way instead, where there are no cracks. Well, if you're wondering why I didn't put any adhesive in there yet, well, it's because I didn't want it to get all over the place on this procedure here. Alright, so there we go. Now that looks alright. A little pressing, a little popping, it's okay. I want to get that down just a bit flatter so that it's equal to how that one looks. There we go, a little bit more. Get the same depth in relation to our wing rib opening there. Just a little bit more. And flat down onto the rib here. That looks pretty good. See, it's ticking up just a little bit there. But just a drop of super glue on that, and then I'll come back with the white glue and secure that. So, looking for a toothpick. Where to go? Don't know. Ah, here she is. Alright, so we're gonna just drop a glue here. And let's lift it up a little bit. And just work that along underneath in here. And then press it down, just hold it there for a second so that it'll cure. And then what I do is run a line of white glue all along that seam on both sides. It's got to hold, so let's hold it down for a minute longer. So the actual wheel well liners here have ribbing that goes across this way, and they'd be about 3/32 of an inch apart on center all the way down. And instead of using the L metal, well, it would be an L extrusion, but they would be back to back. What they're using is looks like a aircraft aluminum stock, and it's cut in a V shape. So you have a flange like this, but picture it. Oh, that's not it. Where's my L metal or my L extrusion? Here it is. So picture two of these back to back, and is that L? Is that chin? No, that's still not it. Damn it. Well, look, he's struggling. Where is it? Why? That look like L. This is the L. Okay, so this is the L. So anyway, short story, interminable. The reason it's aluminum extruded in that configuration. Let me show you on a pencil. It looks like this. So the profile looks like this, with this sticking up here, and then the two flanges lying flat against the panel, and then either screwed or pop riveted all the way down. And the reason for that is that with those running across this way, it just adds so much structural, so much strength to the panel. And again, they'd be here. Probably in the actual aircraft, they're 6 inches apart. I don't know, but on this aircraft, they end up being about an eighth of an inch to 3/32 separation between each strip of that metal. And if this is difficult, then let's picture it this way. Right, so it would look like this. These are the flanges that would go flat against the panel, and this would be sticking up. And again, the reason for that is when aluminum is shaped like this, it pretty much strengthens, at least in that direction, anything that it's attached to. So that's the reason for that. Now I was going to use the L on that, and I need to buy more of it, and then I'd have to be putting it back to back. They don't make, at least that I've seen from Evergreen, Evergreen does not make that kind of extrusion. They don't make this, they wouldn't make a part like this, not in this size anyway. So what I think instead I'll substitute is I'll just run these across. It'll look close to the same, close enough for me anyway. Yeah, I'll just cut a series of these. I've got lots of this stock, and to the eye it'll perform the same visual task.